So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do every time this week, we're going to talk about, the round of NRL that's just been played. But gentlemen, it's the grand final that's just been played. Mm-hmm. How are we tonight?
Okay, although it's sad that the season's over.
Would you like to stand up and show everyone that ugly shirt you've got on?
I wasn't going to volunteer, but if you want me to, for sure.
Wow, here come the Goosters.
I know, you love it, don't you really? Secret.
Yeah, secretly love it.
He said it.
He said it. I'm not going to say it.
Dear. So, Brian, how are you?
I'm okay, Steve.
You're okay? Just okay?
Yeah.
You're looking tired?
Season's been over for a while, so...
Yeah, you've had nothing to cheer
about.
I
like the toothache analogy. That was funny.
Yeah. Now, we've all had our teeth pulled except for Melbourne.
Tom, you well?
Yes, well.
Yes, well. Okay. So, gentlemen, let's talk about the grand final that was just played. 26-20 to Melbourne. And although at half-time it was 22-6, 22-0, and everybody thought game over, including myself, they came back and they nearly stole it.
They did. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, well, thanks for watching. That's the end of the show, so... Gentlemen,
what are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for a comment.
Are you looking for controversy? Are you looking for... What are you after, Steve?
I'm looking for a comment on the game, which would be really nice.
First of all, we should say congratulations to the Melbourne Storm. Congratulations, Sally. Your team won the premiership.
Yes.
Okay. Commiserations to Brad and Robbie Hayes and
Mitch and Dave and
a lot of locals. Probably saved us a lot of heartache driving to Penrith over the next few weeks.
I'm not going there.
Would have been
You wouldn't go there anyway.
Look,
do that again. Oh, Karen Smith.
The thing that I remarked about last night was it got to 14 or 16-0 and the Storm had done absolutely nothing. They'd done nothing. Seriously, they just hit the ball up, they defended stoutly, they played boring, unattractive football, and before you know it, they're 16-0 up. You know, I just don't get it.
That's a pretty impressive way to play boring and uninteresting football.
The point is, you score the more points, you win the game. That's the point. But
that's right.
It wasn't attractive to watch at all.
But the whole game was a little bit like that. The whole game was a little bit stop-start.
You got to hand it to the Storm. They stifled and suffocated the Penrith attack. I thought Nathan Cleary, they did a number on him. I mean, every time fifth tackle came, he got the ball. He had no space whatsoever. No. And he's normally the guy with plenty of time.
Yeah.
I wondered, and I couldn't see it and verify it, but I wondered how Melbourne could get out off that line that quickly without being offside. But you know, their defence was very good. The Panthers got suffocated, and they got frustrated, as often happens, and that's what the Storm will do to they get in your face.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a lot of evidence of them being offside repeatedly. I think what they did do was they moved up very quickly. The defensive line moved up extremely quickly every time, and
maybe
throughout
that's
the whole
just
game.
They're well drilled, perhaps, but you just wonder how they could be that consistently onside and that consistently in the other team's face.
Wow.
So let's.
I haven't said anything yet.
No, and I'm waiting for it.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like sour grapes.
Although it will be.
So you're going to sit here for the whole show and just not say anything?
Well, no. I mean, if we were to dissect that game, I think that
which is what we're trying to do.
I think Melbourne took the opportunity in the big moments.
Yep.
Their defence frustrated Penrith.
Yep.
I think that one thing that we like is we like games where the referee doesn't influence outcome. Where afterwards you go, oh, I don't remember the ref. That wasn't this game. And
yes,
hear me out.
Okay. Hear you out.
I thought that was probably a bit of a showstopper. there were events in that game that if that was a normal premiership game, there would have been penalties and 6 agains, and it just didn't happen. And I thought,
but that was both sides though.
And I thought that it slowed the game down, which favoured Melbourne, and
Okay.
I didn't. And it's just, you know what, that they were the better team on the night. They deserved to win.
Mhm.
Penrith didn't take their opportunities.
Yep.
But certainly, I don't think that Penrith were able to get into the game and groove as easily as the Storm was.
Okay, so let's talk about a couple of those controversial moments.
First 2 tries, one on either side.
Yeah, so the first try to
Justin Olam.
Justin Olam.
Yep.
We discussed this during the night. I thought he lashed. Well, okay, he didn't lash out with his boot as Billy Slater used to do, or how a few people have done it recently.
Yep.
I think he did kick up with his foot to hit that ball.
He put his body on the line and his leg was there. The ball did not go down on his foot. It went down on his shin.
Yeah, no, went on his shin, but it's still a kick.
No, it wasn't a kick. He was sliding, and if you ever look at the position of his other leg, it's bent underneath him. He's basically just slid along the ground in the pouring wet.
Yeah.
And the ball was planted on his leg. If that was his arm, his torso, his head, wouldn't have been a try.
No, that's right. But it wasn't.
And it was a slip, and it wasn't a deliberate kick at the ball. Therefore, it should not have been a penalty. It should have been a no try.
If you watch the replay, his leg is off the ground and moving up.
No,
it is. Watch the replay.
I think just like we talk about momentum carries you over the line to score a try, the way he slid, I think the momentum just meant his leg was in a bad position.
I think that was.
I don't think there was any intent to lash out.
I don't think there was intent either. I think it's the way it happened.
An incredibly poor call, I thought, by the ref.
At the 3rd minute of the game.
Yep.
And considering the on-field ref's gone, no, he's planted that, hasn't planted that on the ground, and the video ref overruled it.
Well, I think if you're going to talk about controversies with the refs, I thought the ref had a good game. It was the video ref who had a problem.
Yep.
Let's talk about the Panthers.
No. Which one are we going to talk about?
The Panthers' first try.
No. Don't worry about that. Let's talk about the first try of the Panthers that was denied.
That was the one that was denied. Josh Mansell.
Ah, not the Brian Toho one.
Well, we'll come to that one.
All right, we'll get to the one that was denied first. Where Stephen Crichton ran a great.
He had the all year. Why would he start now?
He ran a great line, and Brenko Lee misread it, tackled him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I actually thought he went into the tackle, which
committed himself.
But the one problem was he stopped in the line. He stopped in the defensive line.
He was tackled without the ball. It should have been a penalty to Penrith.
He didn't get knocked off his feet. That's the thing.
Yeah, and the defender wasn't impeded. He still managed to get a hand on the guy coming through.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a hard call, I must admit. But again, bunker, not the ref.
Yep, ref called try on that, which we all agreed on.
Yep.
Then you've got the cutout pass to Vunivalu.
Oh, yeah.
So
the intercept.
Nathan Cleary throws the big alley-oop over the top.
Yeah.
And Vunivalu...
And he had to work for it for Vunivalu. He had to leap up.
That was a great take.
Ball. He fell on the ground.
Yeah, look, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with if that was a fullback taking a bomb and he had gone up with his studs like that towards another player, would have been a penalty.
No.
Oh,
Bill Slater used to do it all the time.
You're not allowed to do it anymore. The
He
same
used to
as
do
you're
it all
allowed
the
to
time.
kick out at the ball anymore.
And Vunivalu's been known to lead with his legs.
Oh, yes, but
So,
I don't have a problem with what he did.
No, I don't have. I have a bit of an issue with it, but it was great. It was great.
It was spectacular.
Yeah. And it was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
At the time.
And it frustrates me that afterwards, Nathan Cleary, Nathan. Oh man, just too many Clearys. The son, Nathan, has come out and said, "I'd throw that pass again." Mate, you're stupid. There was a bloke standing there.
But
you chance your hand, but seriously.
I know, but had he not taken the intercept, it was a try on for sure.
Yeah.
Because it was 2-1 or 3-1 or something.
Let me tell you, that's State of Origin, and he throws that pass and Queensland intercept it.
He won't
I
get a
want
second.
him to be kicked out.
Yeah, he won't get another one. Let's talk about the Brian To'o try.
Yep.
Everybody, every single person called this a shepherd.
Yep.
Not only us,
Yep.
the wisest of people when it comes to football, but the commentators on both Channel 9 and Fox, because I watched Fox afterwards. And I just wanted to get some opinions. They all said no try.
So Steve Chitty
The-
had a
the ref
shock
said-
on both sides.
The ref said no try, and the bunker cleared it.
Yeah.
Does it? I got to ask, does bunker not know what he's talking about?
Well, you wonder.
Well, that's 3 out of the 4 tries. No, I got no idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't a try. Absolutely not. I don't know. Was it a get even because of what happened earlier?
Wow.
You just can't.
But once you're talking about that and talking about the refs managing a team back into it,
Well,
then
not long after. It was a while after actually. When they sent Jerome Hughes to the bin, which for what was definitely an escort.
Yeah.
And again, my favourite player, comes up to the ref and says, "You're trying to get Panthers back into the game." Effectively, that's what he was telling him.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a case to answer. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I know that. In my opinion, the ref should have. And this is where. And Sally, I know you hate this, but this is where fans get frustrated.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, you don't talk like that to the ref.
No.
And the ref should have went, "You tell me I'm a cheat. See you later. There's 10 for you too."
Was it actually Ivan Cleary who suggested
Yes, he said that they were managed back into
and
the
was
game.
fined $20,000 for it?
Correct.
But you can say but you're the captain of the team. You can say you're managing them back into the game,
Teflon Cam.
and you get nothing.
Do you remember? I said that Bill Harrigan was interviewed once, and he said, and they said to him, "What would you do with Cam Smith if you were still umpiring?" He said, refereeing. He said, "I would sin bin him, and I would sin bin him, and I would sin bin him until he cut it out."
Yeah,
And that's what happened. He's got away with it all of his career.
well, it's not only Harrigan. Like all the refs in the old days would have done that.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't have put up with it.
No.
And I also call the challenge the captain's challenge now the Cameron Smith rule, because they've put that in place so that you can say, "Cameron, you want a challenge?"
He doesn't like
challenge?
Cameron Smith. Have you noticed?
Oh, look, I mean,
He does not like Cameron
he's
Smith.
had an incredible career. He has an incredible influence over the game. There are the things outside of all of that, of the quality of his play, that I do not like about the man.
Can I just say, Cameron Smith is probably the best player I've ever seen, and I hate him
Yeah.
so much.
Well,
I don't-
do you hate him because he's so good, or do you hate him because the other parts of his persona?
Oh,
The
both.
bits I don't like.
But if he was playing for Manly, I'd be in love with the bloke.
Exactly. Yeah, and just imagine what it'd be like if he was a Rooster.
So,
I don't think he's the greatest player I've ever seen. He's certainly up there. I
yeah.
can't put him ahead of Jonathan Thurston or someone like that.
See, I can.
No,
I think, no.
But I tell you what, I was very surprised he didn't get the Churchill Medal last night, because I honestly thought he never. But think about his impact in the game. There was nobody who I thought was spectacular.
I thought Pappenhausen was easily the best player on the field.
But he wasn't
had
spectacular. He had
really good
moments.
Yeah.
I loved his moment of getting the ball back in where he jumped.
Yeah.
I mean,
The play from the scrum where he scorched them. Like, I mean, they were. When you say that Melbourne managed the big moments, look, it's funny when Penrith were coming back and the Storm had the ball, you could see Cameron Smith yelling at the team, and it was forward hit up, forward hit up, forward hit up, forward hit up, kick, every single time, and you could see Cameron Smith just orchestrating what was happening. But those individual moments of brilliance, those big moments that won in the game, were Pappenhausen.
Yeah, it's true.
And
I agree.
And
I mean, even at halftime, it was a heartbreaker again. Smith goes to play the ball. Abbey tries to spoil by hitting him in the arm. He actually hits the ball instead.
you hit the arm.
And Cameron Smith's foot just happens to be behind him and drags the ball forward. He's not even looking. It's those moments you think, that is just luck. You know, it's just on your side on the night.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then, he picked it up and scored. He didn't fumble it. He
that's right.
didn't panic.
Because he's a professional. And look, there's no doubting his quality as a player. I will never doubt that. But I just don't like the man.
So
I got to ask a question, and I need an intelligent answer from one of you
Oh,
two.
you probably
That'll
won't
be
get one
me
in this
then,
regards
yes.
to him.
What was the point with the goggles at the end of the game where they're singing the song and they've got the champagne, but they're all wearing ski goggles?
Apparently, according to Foxley, apparently there's an NBA thing where if you're doing the champagne, you don't get in your eyes. And maybe it's some kind of cool thing to do. I don't know. It's
NBA.
in American sports. In American sports, they do it,
Is it-
and it's caught on from American sports where
what a
they
bunch
wear this. The champagne doesn't get
Am
their
I allowed to
eyes.
say dumbasses?
Well, you already have, so
Just don't do it again.
I was just curious. It just didn't make sense to me why we're
I enjoyed
goggles.
the cheese.
Brendan
Smith, when he's sitting there with the trophy, and he's completely out of it, and he goes, "I'm the CC, the cheese champ." I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
All right, let's talk about Penrith. What happened?
They got smothered. They got suffocated
Yeah.
out of the game.
Like I said, I think. No, I don't know. Like I said, it was just those big moments. Melbourne took advantage. I think that, and I don't think they were crestfallen and destroyed, but just the little bits of luck went Melbourne's way, and it was enough. If you're 22 points down, you don't lose the game.
Yeah.
So
Interesting, their first 3 minutes, but before Olam scored, the first kickoff, the ball wobbled, and I think, what was it? Was there a knock on or something like that?
Yep.
And you're thinking, right, Penrith are going to seize your opportunity here. That's in the first 30 seconds. And within 2 minutes, it's turned around and Melbourne are down the other end scoring a penalty try.
Yep.
I mean, that's, I think if I was a Panthers fan, I'd be thinking, what a great start this is going to be.
Look, and I made the comment at half time. The thing with the Panthers is you've got Cleary who dominates with the kicking game, and Jerome Luai. And at 22-0 down, I was on the phone to you guys, and the one thing that would get Penrith back into the game is if Jerome Luai ran the ball. And didn't he run the ball? Like, he was dynamite. I understand they're obviously playing to a structure, but wouldn't you just give it to that kid? Seriously.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, too, how critical those two players have been in that team all year. So what do we think about Brett Naden?
He should have started.
He should have started.
Yeah, absolutely. He came on. He made an impact, didn't he?
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm a big fan of Tyrone May. I think he's a fantastic player. And obviously, if you can start in first grade in centres, 5'8", and lock, you deserve to be in the team. But
he had a pretty ordinary game, didn't he, defensively?
Well, I think they just took him out of it. And one thing that Naden's got that the Storm do well is just that pace. He's just quick. He gets the ball, he looks dangerous.
Yep.
Stephen Crichton, same, gets the ball, looks dangerous. If he puts a half a step on, he's away. And Brett Naden just kept on dragging players with him.
Yep.
So, Tyrone May, as good as he is, doesn't have that ability as a ball runner. So
it seemed to work against South.
Yep.
Because he did the same thing with South.
Yep.
It seemed to work then, but I mean, Melbourne's another level again.
Look,
So.
Interesting, the left-hand side didn't get a run last night. I mean, I think it was right near the end of the game I said, I've seen this move before.
Yep.
It was, Adokar to Olam and things, but it was very short-lived. They didn't get that early break. I mean, Melbourne have got the record this year of the most tries scored from their own half.
Yep.
And a lot of that was Olam, Adokar, Pappenhausen, Munster there. That didn't happen last night. So you've got to give the Panthers some credit for continuing to try really hard in defence. I mean, the penalty try was questionable. The intercept is always disappointing whenever you get an intercept against the run of play. The fumbled ball right on the line. They had a bit of luck go their way, and that wasn't necessarily the referee. It was just luck. That.
Yeah.
And once you establish that ascendancy on the scoreboard, the pressure mounts, and it's that much harder to score.
And that's what happened when they were 22 points down and they started to get loose. They were looking for the miracle pass. They were looking for the big play.
Yeah.
And
there was a classic one where they went through 3 sets of hands and it was totally predictable at a pace where was no dynamic in the whole thing. And then all of a sudden, I think Tyro overruns and Tyrone May throws it forward. You think, well, that sums up their night.
I mean, and it was just little things like Dylan Edwards hasn't made a mistake in the last 4 games he played. Went for a bomb, knocked it on, straight to Melbourne, 6 again. Like just little bits and pieces.
But that was, I remember that moment, and I thought that was a really good pressure.
Really
And it was really good pressure from Melbourne. They did their job really well on him at that point.
So, I think it was just they got beaten by a team that just did the little things a little bit better.
Look, let's face it, the Storm. I
They
think they earned the win.
Yeah.
The Panthers were valiant in coming back, but they left their run too late, as often happened in the last few games the Storm have played. They put a team to the sword early, and they've got enough professionalism to hang on. I mean, it got a bit scary there for a few minutes.
It was that Pappenhausen try after half time when he broke away from the scrum and took off. Like he ran past Cleary and May. Like, what?
Well, the commentators are all saying, and we knew it, is Penrith has to be the first to score. In fact, Ivan Cleary said it. He said, we've got to score first, and we've got to stop them scoring. And what happens? Pappenhausen comes out and scores.
You know what? That would have been 22-all if he hadn't scored, because Ivan Cleary would have taken that kick in the 79th minute in overtime.
Yeah, he would have got it.
And Panthers won the second half 20-4.
But then South won the second half against them last week as well. But didn't work. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So, season's over.
Yep.
So let's quickly talk about the ladies' grand final, the Women's League, where the Broncos have won their 3rd straight premiership, beating the Roosters 20-10.
Yep. And I think at half time it was 12-10, and I thought, geez, the Roosters have been struggling, because I think it was 12-0 down, and they managed to find 2 tries. And I thought, well, they're really in this game. I mean, they're really a chance with this, but I think I've got to give it to the Broncos. They are the Queensland State of Origin team. There's no doubt about that. And they've played cohesively together for a long, long time. Ali Brigginshaw, particularly like her either, just because of some of the things she's done in the media. But she was fantastic, and they just wanted it.
Yeah,
they wanted it, and when I think the Roosters had 70% of possession in the second half and could not lay on any points.
No, but the Roosters dropped a lot of balls.
They did. They made mistakes, but that's pressure. That's defensive pressure. Exactly the same with Melbourne. Defensive pressure and the little moments, they bobbled the ball. They had so many opportunities to score, and it was frustrating. And look, the Roosters came from winning no games last year to making the grand final. I think they showed some really positive signs. The real problem with this whole dynamic is there are 4 teams playing over 4 weeks, which makes a mockery of it. And in fact, it doesn't do justice to the women's game.
Well, it doesn't because there are a whole bunch of other teams out there. I mean, a lot of teams have a ladies' competition.
Yep.
And yet in this 4, and that's the one thing I noticed, and we talked about it the other night, that there's rugby union players in there. Mm-hmm. It's like they make a team make 4 teams from everywhere when there's already players out there. And we should make it an 8-team competition and make it a serious one.
But I think too with the dominance of Brisbane, and I'm going to keep harping on this, but they're the Queensland State of Origin team. Nobody's ever going to beat them unless you try to enlist some decent players. And the rugby girls couldn't play this year, and they all put their hands up and said we really want to play in the competition. So they got an opportunity. It was good, and a lot of them really shone. I mean, there were a lot of really. You just saw the professionalism of the rugby union girls in all of the teams, and had it not been COVID, there was a possibility, I think, that there would have been maybe some more teams this year. But they've got to start thinking about next year. We can make it stop it being a Mickey Mouse competition, and to stop the Broncos again just continually winning. I think we have to throw it up a bit.
I agree.
A bit of attrition, a few more weeks playing.
Yep.
That gives the chance for fatigue, for injury, and a bit of levelling of the playing field, I think.
And I must admit, I enjoyed some of those games. I thought
the Roosters played really well this year. And Hannah Southwell, she wears the white headgear. she's a sensational player, and I think she won the players award for the season. She's tremendous.
Okay, so season's over. Now we start looking at state of origin.
Yep. We've named our team. What about you?
No, I haven't.
That's right.
So-
I've decided Freddie's got rocks in his head.
Well, I've decided Freddie's got rocks in his head too, but why do you think so?
Oh, interesting that we agree on something.
Would it be because he's picked, 4 halfbacks, 4 5/8s,
Yep.
about 3 hookers in a 27-man squad?
I don't get it. I don't get why you would pick Cody Walker, Jerome Luai, the Rooster Boy,
Kiri.
hang on, who's the fourth halfback? The fourth 5'8" that he picked. Whiten.
Whiten.
Got 4
He'll probably play
first
centres, but
grade
yeah.
5'8" in the team.
Mm.
If he had his way, he would have Clint Gutherson, James Tedesco, Tom Trebojevic,
Ryan Pappenhausen.
Ryan Pappenhausen. We'd have 4 fullbacks. No offence, Freddie, you need players.
But he's got a
in
27-man
positions.
squad. I mean, he's
Okay, but he's going to use 17 of those. In fact, he's probably going to use 20 of those.
What if in the first
somebody
game
injured.
half a dozen of them get injured? You know, he's going to have backups. And the other, I think I think the other reason why he's chosen 27 players is it's the end of the season. These players are not getting ready for their next season game, which means if he doesn't choose them now, they're going to go off on a holiday, and all of a sudden he's going to need somebody
Hang on,
who
hang
will call
on.
them on
No,
holidays.
I get why he's picked 27 players. I mean, that's a train-on squad. I get that. I understand it. But there's a lot of halves. I mean, you're talking about 8 halves in that 27-man squad.
Well,
that
Whiteman's
leaves
never
you
gonna play
19
half.
players. You've already got three hookers or 2. You've
3.
got Cook. You've got
Happy.
McGuinness.
Oh, they didn't choose that.
No, they didn't choose. And you've got McGuinness.
Yep.
Well, the question is, do you have that many options in all the other player positions? And if you
Well, you
do,
can't.
it makes sense.
You can't have if you've got 8 halves and 2. There's 10 players. Now you've still got to pick another 10 positions
Mhm.
out of your next 20.
Yeah, which means 2 per position.
Yeah.
I don't.
So I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I
Look,
don't understand.
I understand the train-on squad.
And I understand that obviously we've got a lot of depth, but I don't think we needed to pick 4 5'8"
No.
and a whole bunch.
Maybe part of the problem was a few weeks ago you would have picked Kiri in a heartbeat, and then all of a sudden Cody Walker started firing, and Jack Whiten's been consistent, although they picked him for a centre. And Tedesco hadn't gone down until the second last game of the year, third last game of the year. So, I don't know. I honestly don't.
And then you leave out players like David Nofaluma, who's had made most meters, most line breaks, most offloads.
incredible
Alex
winger.
Johnson, who's topped the try scoring list again. I don't understand. Anyway, I'm not the State of Origin coach, and Freddie likes to walk around on the grass and feel it, and I don't know.
And do his yoga. Yeah.
So I'm not criticising, but he's a bit of a weirdo, is what you're saying.
Oh, he's
No,
a weirdo, right?
Interpreting.
He's a weirdo.
Right.
He's a weirdo. You know what? And the thing,
If I start getting emails from him because he's just heard you, you're going to answer them.
No, if you get emails from him, I'll be actually overjoyed.
to tell you, I've got his number, Freddie's. I do. I could get him to listen.
How?
What do you mean get him to listen? He already
Oh,
does.
sorry.
How'd you get his number?
I've got my sources.
Maybe you should put in a good word for us.
But no, and just on the side.
By the way, you've never fronted with any tickets since you're such good friends with him.
I've been so good friends with him, so I had his contact number and address. But anyway, we'll leave that alone.
And if
No Australian
if the
ones
police
either.
coming around with an ABO, yeah.
I'll say this though: Brad Fittler is still one of the best players I've ever seen.
Oh, without doubt.
So yeah,
But he won't be an immortal.
should be.
But
No,
he won't
I'm not sure he should be.
You reckon?
be. I'm not
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh no way! The impact
As an
he had on
immortal?
the impact he had on the game was as big as Thurston.
As an immortal? No.
Absolutely.
no.
If Jonathan Thurston will be there, so should Freddie.
Okay.
sure. I'd love
Anyway, you were going to
He's
say
not a
something.
rooster. He's a panther.
You were going to say something profound.
it. Gee,
Was I?
we waited
I
all
thought so.
season for that.
You're talking about his phone number, his address.
No.
Okay, all right.
No profoundness.
So, have we got any news about the Queensland Origin team?
Yeah, it was announced as well.
Yeah, who cares? It's Queensland.
But Wayne's got Mel back on board.
Yeah, Wayne's got Mal. But apparently Wayne isn't happy about having a documentary done about the team.
Oh,
So
well, he refused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good on you, Wayne. You tell him.
Honestly,
When Wayne was at Brisbane, he would bag the hell out of
No,
Wayne.
I would not.
I
I
don't-
never bagged
I
Wayne.
don't know how you put up with the bloke. To be perfectly honest,
Who? Me?
yeah, Wayne.
What's wrong with Wayne?
It's Wayne's world.
One of the
You know
world's
that.
best coaches. By the way, I heard a rumor today, and I won't tell you what it is, but there's a exciting development coming with a player coming to South. Can't say too much.
Come on,
No,
no, you can't say that.
no.
You can't say that.
In fact, a couple of exciting rumours, but South have signed Host, we know,
Yeah,
and Tane Mill, we know.
Yep.
Joe Arrow's coming.
Jay Arrow's coming,
yep.
and a player from North might be coming.
Norths,
North.
North.
Oh, you're
North.
getting Brady Croft.
Josh McGuire.
No.
Who else is up there? Oh, perhaps a former New South Wales representative player.
Who?
Jack Bird?
No! Please, no. No. Anyway, doesn't matter.
So he's going to be.
Well, no. We're just going to keep guessing.
He'll be delighting about this all season, all off season.
No.
Player from up north. Don't know who you'd want
Player
from up there.
Oh, there's one I'd like from up there.
Oh, not to be the Pangai.
No.
No, not
No, it's a back rower. But anyway. Sorry, it's a
Back.
back.
Oh, yeah, because you need
Yeah,
more
because
backs.
that's what you need is more backs. That's right, yeah.
Well, apparently we're trying to move on Roberts.
No,
Yeah,
he's
he's gone.
moved. He's gone.
He's gone.
Well, he's got 1 year left in his contract.
Yeah,
He'll
and
do it.
Brayden Burns
Yeah.
is chronic.
Yeah,
hamstring
probably move him on
problems.
as well. Apparently Liam Martin's being moved on.
Really?
Liam Martin from the Panthers.
No, sorry, not Liam Martin.
I was going to say,
Liam
Liam Martin's been moved on.
No, we're talking about the Panthers. Liam Knight.
Liam Knight. Oh,
Jeez,
he's mistake ridden.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been good though.
Anyway,
I wouldn't have him.
so
Manly Junior, come back to us.
Actually, he came to our. I don't think he played.
very quickly before we
Yeah.
sign off,
Yeah.
I want to talk about.
What's
I forgot what I was going
happening
to
next
talk about. No.
Life changing.
No.
No?
The Dally M's. Whiten winning the medal. What do you think?
I'm out of tea.
Well, you've got to give Whiten the credit. I mean, he was very consistent throughout the year. I think what surprised me more than anything was he didn't play the last round, and his two competitors in second and third position did not poll a vote. And if you watched the last game Gutherson played, he did not poll a vote, which is extremely surprising because by all intents and purposes, he virtually won that game.
Yeah.
And they couldn't give him a vote. So you wonder what's going on there. Now, just remind me again, who votes? It's players, isn't it?
No.
Ex-players.
No.
No,
There's a judge for each game.
Yeah, commentators,
commentator or whatever.
players,
Yeah, okay.
media. Yeah.
So, and you would assume that they're not privy to the count, which means that shouldn't influence their decision. But the fact that Nathan Cleary didn't poll one vote and Clint Gutherson didn't poll one vote in the last game, and that surprises me. But, good luck to Jack Whiten. He was Clive Churchill medalist last year, the Dally M medalist this year. He's obviously on the rise. So, good luck to him.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're coming to an end. This is the show for the year.
Yep. Very sad.
Not the penultimate, the ultimate.
The ultimate. The ultimate.
It
Yeah.
wasn't ultimate for us.
I did post on Facebook about the big announcement.
Yes, and we're all guessing.
What's the big announcement?
What's the big announcement?
Surprised you two don't know what the big announcement is.
Yeah, so are we.
Is this something we discussed before?
Well, yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. That big announcement. Oh,
that
it's big.
big announcement.
Big.
The big one.
It's actually two fairly moderate announcements, I think.
Well, no, I wasn't going to go that far.
Oh, okay, right.
We're not going to talk that much.
Oh, okay. Right. Fair enough.
The big announcement is that we will be back next year, bigger and better than ever. We're going to make some changes to our schedule, our layout, our everything else, and we are coming back.
We will take fan feedback.
Yeah, Yes.
Oh, we tried that a couple of years ago, and you
Yeah,
didn't get
you
the
guys-
questions out.
You guys are boring. Give us some feedback.
We'd love to know what you think of the season.
You know what? This
Um,
show's gone for 34 minutes. Everyone's turned off already. They're switched off.
I mean, it's great to get all the traffic on the Facebook side has been wonderful. There's been lots and lots of contributors this year,
Yeah.
and we constantly get people requesting join, which is also very encouraging. But viewers wise, we'd love to see more people watching the show.
And Sally, thank you for saying don't quit.
Yeah, we often wonder, Sally. We often do wonder.
Despite the fact that we've bagged the heck out of your team.
Well, maybe after tonight she'll be saying, yeah, quit. Just
But
go.
We don't bag Sally.
No, no back, Sally.
No.
No.
We just, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you all for watching. We will be back next year. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your contributions this year. And for, as Tom said, on either Facebook or I have had messages on YouTube as well.
Mhm.
We will be back bigger and better next year. We have some changes which we'll talk about next year. But thank you for viewing, and see you all in, 3 or 4 months?
And have a Merry Christmas when it comes.
2021, which has to be better.
Yeah, this year has a virus. We want to reboot it.
Yes.
All right, thank you all for watching. This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve. We'll do it all again next year. Bye-bye.
See you.
Sal?